Introduction. Have you ever heard of Padmasambhava, the mystical Tibetan Buddha known as the second Buddha? His teachings have transformed the spiritual landscape of Tibet and continue to inspire millions around the world. In this video, we'll dive deep into the life of Padmasambhava, his extraordinary journey, and the wisdom he brought to the world. If you've been searching for answers on how to find inner peace, unlock your spiritual potential, and understand the mysteries of the universe, stay with us. By the end of this video, you'll not only learn about the incredible teachings of Padmasambhava, but you'll also feel the energy of his wisdom filling your life. Let's embark on this profound journey together. And remember, if we reach 5,000 likes, I'll release a special video on the powerful protector deity, Vaiśravaṇa, the god of wealth and Buddhism's guardian. Let's get started. Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche, is one of the most revered figures in Tibetan Buddhism. His name translates to Lotus-Born, and he is believed to have been miraculously born from a lotus flower in the Dhanakosha lake. From the very beginning, Padmasambhava's life was surrounded by miracles, symbolizing the profound spiritual energy he would bring into the world. Padmasambhava's arrival in Tibet marked the beginning of a spiritual revolution. In the 8th century, the Tibetan king, Trisong Detsen, invited him to help establish Buddhism in the region. At that time, Tibet was deeply rooted in indigenous Bon traditions, and many obstacles stood in the way of Buddhism's spread. But Padmasambhava, with his mystical powers and enlightened mind, overcame these challenges. One of Padmasambhava's most legendary achievements was his ability to tame the demons and spirits of Tibet. The native spiritual beings resisted the introduction of Buddhism, but through his mastery of mantras and meditation, Padmasambhava turned them into protectors of the Dharma. This transformation was not just symbolic, but reflected his understanding of the deep interconnectedness between all beings. As the sky remains clear even when clouds temporarily obscure it, so does the nature of the mind remain pure despite the passing thoughts of negativity. This profound teaching from Padmasambhava resonates across centuries, reminding us that despite the challenges we face in life, our true nature remains pure and enlightened. Padmasambhava is credited with founding the Nyingma school, the oldest of the 4 major schools of Tibetan Buddhism. His teachings, known as the Dzogchen, or the Great Perfection, focus on realizing the innate Buddha nature within all of us. He taught that enlightenment is not something distant or unreachable. It is already present within us, waiting to be realized through practice and mindfulness. In his time in Tibet, Padmasambhava not only spread the teachings of Buddhism, but also built monasteries and meditation centers, creating sacred spaces for practitioners to deepen their spiritual journeys. One of the most famous of these is the Samye Monastery, the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet, which remains a pilgrimage site for Buddhists worldwide. Padmasambhava's teachings were not just about philosophy or rituals. He introduced powerful tantric practices which involved mantras, visualizations, and rituals that harnessed the mind's power to transform reality. These practices remain a cornerstone of Tibetan Buddhism today and are considered some of the most advanced spiritual techniques for achieving enlightenment. Perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of Padmasambhava's life is his ability to transcend time. Many believe that Padmasambhava left behind hidden teachings, known as terma, which would only be discovered when the time was right. These teachings are believed to be revealed by tertons, or treasure finders, who continue to uncover these spiritual treasures even today. Padmasambhava's compassionate nature is reflected in his teachings on how to overcome the suffering of existence. He emphasized that through mindfulness, compassion, and dedication to the Dharma, one could escape the cycle of samsara, the endless wheel of birth, death, and rebirth, and attain nirvana, the ultimate state of peace and freedom. One of the central symbols associated with Padmasambhava is the Vajra, a ritual object symbolizing the indestructible nature of truth. He often holds the Vajra in one hand and a skull cup in the other, representing the balance between wisdom and compassion. These symbols remind us that on the spiritual path, both clarity and love are essential for reaching enlightenment. The The lotus flower is another symbol deeply connected with Padmasambhava. Just as the lotus rises from the mud to bloom beautifully above the water, so too can human beings rise from the struggles and impurities of life to achieve spiritual purity and wisdom. This powerful symbol encourages us to never give up, no matter how difficult our journey might seem. One of Padmasambhava's most famous retreats was in the Taktchang Monastery, also known as the Tiger's Nest, perched on a cliffside in Bhutan. It is believed that he flew to this sacred site on the back of a tiger and meditated in the caves for 3 years, 3 months, 3 days, and 3 hours. This retreat site remains one of the most iconic symbols of Padmasambhava's power and dedication. Padmasambhava's wisdom extends beyond the confines of religion. His teachings on interdependence show us that all beings are connected, and our actions affect the world around us. By cultivating compassion and understanding, we can not only transform ourselves, but also bring peace and harmony to the world. Padmasambhava's life is also a powerful reminder of the need to balance the spiritual with the practical. He taught that while it is essential to engage in deep meditation and spiritual practices, it is equally important to live with compassion and help others in everyday life. True enlightenment comes from the ability to navigate both worlds with wisdom and love. In Tibetan Buddhism, Padmasambhava is often depicted surrounded by his 8 manifestations, each representing a different aspect of his enlightened nature. These forms show that the path to enlightenment is not one-dimensional. It requires us to embrace all parts of ourselves, our strength, wisdom, compassion, and even our ability to confront challenges head-on. Padmasambhava's teachings on death and rebirth are particularly profound. He taught that death is not the end, but a transition. Through proper meditation and practice, one can face death without fear and even choose the circumstances of their rebirth. These teachings are encapsulated in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, one of the most revered spiritual texts in Buddhism. Padmasambhava is often referred to as the teacher of the Vajra. The Vajra symbolizes both the indestructibility of truth and the power of spiritual awakening. With the Vajra, Padmasambhava clears away illusions, showing his followers the true nature of reality, unshaken by the material world. His influence has spread beyond Tibet to Nepal, Bhutan, and across the world. Thangkas, sacred paintings of Padmasambhava, can be found in homes, monasteries, and meditation spaces everywhere, reminding practitioners of his eternal presence and guidance. Even if the sun were to rise from the west, the yogi who has connected to the inner truth will remain unshaken. This quote from Padmasambhava speaks to the unwavering strength of someone who has realized their true nature. Through dedication and practice, we can cultivate that same inner strength no matter what obstacles we face. Padmasambhava's final message to his followers was simple yet profound. I am always with you. If you seek me, you will find me. His words resonate across time, reminding us that the path to enlightenment is not something we walk alone. Through his teachings, practices, and the love he left behind, Padmasambhava remains a guiding light for those seeking the truth. Conclusion: thank you for exploring the incredible life and teachings of Padmasambhava with us. His wisdom continues to inspire millions, guiding us toward enlightenment and reminding us that the path to peace and freedom is within our reach. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let's spread the wisdom of Padmasambhava together. And remember, if we reach 5,000 likes, I'll release an exciting video about Vaiśravaṇa, the powerful protector of Buddhism and god of wealth.